Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Today's lesson is about letters from John the Elder. And I know last week the lesson was on a letter from John as well, but today we're going to be talking about 2nd John and 3rd John. So our memory verse for this week actually is 2nd John chapter 1 verse 6. So I'll read that now, so make sure you highlight this verse in your Bible. This is love, that we walk according to his commands. This is the command, as you have heard it from the beginning, that you walk in love. So the book of 2nd John teaches us that Jesus Christ is God's Son. Jesus came to earth in the flesh to dwell among men and walk in truth and obedience as an example for all of his followers. John warned the people to remember the truth of Jesus Christ. So he wanted everybody to remember the truth of Jesus Christ. The book of 3rd John instructs us to imitate goodness, so we should always be showing goodness. Jesus is the ultimate example of goodness. He is good, and he does what is good. He always does what is good, so he is the prime example of goodness. So in our story today, John, the beloved disciple, wrote 2 more letters to believers that we have in our Bibles that we can always look back on. John wrote truths to his friends that we can learn from too. I am happy. This is what he's saying. He says, I am happy to hear you are walking in truth, but I will remind you that we should always love one another. Love is when we obey God's commands. Remember to walk in love. So here, John wants us to know that we should always remember to love one another, and we should always obey God's commands, and that is how we love. He also says, beware of people who teach things that do not agree with Jesus. These false teachers should not be followed. So don't be tempted from people who are not followers of Jesus. Always keep in mind, you need to do what is good, and it makes God happy to see us doing what is good and not following those people who may not be followers of Jesus. And John also says, I have heard that you are walking in truth. My greatest joy comes when I hear believers are walking in truth. So, and it makes God very happy as well to always see us walking in the truth. So every time you are doing that, God is looking down and smiling because that makes him happy to see that. John also says, remember, we should help those who walk in the truth. Do not do what is evil, do what is good. God does what is good. Anyone who does evil does not truly know and love God. So, and we can do this, and we can try to be more like God, try to be good like God is. And we can also help one another become better Christians by showing our friends how to be good, how to be a Christ follower. So John wrote all of these letters to help churches and their leaders follow Jesus better. So he did this to help everyone out because he wanted people to follow Jesus because he had seen the impact that it had made on his life. He warned people to beware of teachers whose idea did not agree with Jesus. So he wanted people to know that, you don't need to follow along with these people who are not followers of Jesus, and you shouldn't listen to their ideas. And then he also encouraged the people to avoid people who do evil. So that is something to always remember. We want to be like God, and we want to be good because God is so good. And like I said, he is the prime example of goodness. So we need to strive every day to be more like Jesus. So I hope this lesson taught you a little bit about what it means to be good and what it means to follow Christ. And these letters from John and 2nd John and 3rd John are very helpful, and they're both short chapters, so I encourage you to read them. Have a good week.